Hello, welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classics / Non-Classic. It's episode number 299 and Doubleshot number 230. Okay? First up, Deadpool, World's Greatest, Volume 2, End of an Era. This book is like really thin. It only contains about 3 issues, plus a bunch of tales of, well, they made issue 7 double-sized, and they put a bunch of tales of the featuring the Mercs money. Now, the issues themselves, the regular Deadpool issues are written by Gary Duggan with Brian Pucci running issue 3.1. The issues in here are issues 6 through 7 and 3.1. The 3.1 issue, it's artistically wise, it's really good. It's just that it's the issue that was written in Spanish. They did do a one shot. Marvel did release a they did re-release this one shot as a regular one shot called Deadpool Massacre. That's the character's name. He's a huge Deadpool fan, and they translated to English and they made him a badass. And here, the whole book is in frickin' Spanish. I'm not kidding. The issue 6, which I think it's a double-sized issue. I think it is. No, it's 7. Yeah, 7. 7 is just Deadpool just doing whatever he wants and setting up stuff that happened in the next arc of the series. Issue 6 is the introduction to this lovely lady. That's Deadpool 2099, who is the second daughter of Deadpool. Deadpool has 2 daughters. In the previous one in the series, he had a daughter with the woman he met when he met back in the 70s. Yep. The Deadpool issues in here are really good. Now, the tales of the Mercs money. One's written by Cullen Bunn, who is the current writer of the series. Ben Acker, Ben Beaker, Amy Chu, Tim Seeley, Mike Hawthorne, and of course Gary Duggan. Now, who writes which story? If I can get to it. Okay. The Terror Story, that's by Colin Bunn. Slapstick is by Ben Acker and Ben Bleeker. Fool Killer is by Amy Chu. Stingray Story is written by Tim Seeley. Mike Hawthorne is the writer and artist of the Massacre story. And the solo issue is done by Gary Duggan, who is doing the solo ongoing series. Yeah. Of these guys, Solo, Fool Killer, and Slapstick, and I think Terror are getting their own series because they left the Mercs money, but Massacre is staying because he's a fan of Deadpool and he's loyal to him. I do appreciate that. I mean, the artwork in here is really good. I mean, I would have thought maybe they would save the Deadpool 2099 stuff for its own separate trade because there's only been 2 issues released so far of the Deadpool 2099 stuff. A lot of people thinking though, because people like the 29 issues, why not just spin her off their own series? Yeah. But this is good. 9 out of 10. It's pretty decent, but it's actually pretty good. Now, next one is JSA Liberty Files. Now, this trade is pretty long. This book contains the Liberty File number, JSA Liberty File number 1 and 2, and JSA Unholy 3, 1 and 2. I think that the Liberty File came out in 2000, and of course Unholy 3 came out in 2003. Unholy 3 is a follow-up to Liberty Files, and here's the thing. These are Elseworld stories. Yeah, it's not continuity at all. Nope, it's an Elseworld. Now, the stories themselves the issues themselves are written by, if I can find the writer here, his name is, let's see, his name is Dan Jolly, and the artist is Tony Harris. Some of you might recognize that name. This is the same guy who was the artist for the Starman series. The one written by James Robinson. Yep. And here's a sample of this guy's artwork. Yep, and pretty much these are Elseworld characters, versions of people like Batman, Superman, This version of Black Canary, Hawk Girl, Hawkman. The Jake Air Flash is called Mercury in here. Our Man, Mr. Terrific. Most of the known JSA characters are in here, who have been JS members. The only ones that don't show up in here is Ted Grant. And, oh yeah, they do have one of the Starmen here. I think it says his name is Theo, which is bizarre. Because they mentioned someone named Ted dying. So it could have been either Ted Grant, the original Wildcat, or it could have been Ted Knight. They did not say particular. They just said, oh, Ted's death. And the Black Canary, and this is probably Diana Drake Lance. She has not become the Black Canary in here at all. Same thing with Shayera Hall, who is not Hawkgirl in here. And apparently she's developed a thing for Superman, who actually starts out as a Nazi. I'm not kidding. He starts out as a freaking Nazi. And he works with Adolf Hitler. Then he turns against the Axis, becomes an American hero, and takes the Clark Kent. And there's a twist involving him. This book is 13 years old, so I can spoil it. Superman, in here, is General Zod. I am not kidding. And he kills Shayera. Oh, I almost forgot the Atom shows up in here as well. Apparently he looks purple see-through. About half of the known JSA characters get killed off in here. Oh, I should also mention this. Also, Dr. Midnight shows in here as well. Now, to like these three characters, these three are the primary characters. Dr. Midnight, Batman, Hourman. This guy here, that is Batman. This is Hourman. This is Dr. Midnight, which I do appreciate Tony Harris for an Elseworld story, that the Dr. Midnight costume looks almost exactly like he was normally depicted. Everyone else looks totally different. Yeah. But these stories are very good Elseworld stories to read. I do recommend this if you're interested in some... Oh, I almost forgot. This is what Superman looks like. Yep. That's Superman. His costume kind of looks like the Golden Age, the way Superman looked back in the Golden Age of comics. Oh, and he does fly. Yep. This Superman does in fact fly, and they don't mention that... Oh, I almost forgot. Before I get to that, there is a character called Jack the Grin. Jack the Grin is the Joker. I am not kidding. He's the Joker. And Mr. Terrific is awesome in here. I mean, he's even got a mustache. Yes, Mr. Terrific. This is the Terry Sloan Mr. Terrific, not Michael Holt. These are all basically Elseworld versions of the classic characters, not the ones people more familiar with. Not Michael Holt, who was Mr. Terrific, or for Hourman, it's the original one, Rex Tyler. Yeah. Everybody's original here. It's like the only person that show up in here who's associated with the JSA, I would say, aside from Wildcat, is probably Alan Scott. Yeah, it's a bit bizarre. I mean, they show almost... Heck, they even throw in here Martian Manhunter, a character who's never been associated with the JSA, and yet they throw him in here. The 4 issues are in here. Now, here's the thing. The issues in here are really long. Now, my guess is when these issues probably first released at their particular time, they were probably prestige format comic books, basically comics with a spine. That's probably the reason why both these two miniseries have got 2 issues apiece. But despite that, they're all good. Yeah. Now, these are good set of Elseworld stories, not bad ones. I give this a 9 out of 10. I don't want to spoil too much of this. I mean, I've already spoiled the twist with Superman. But, man, this is really good. And I highly recommend it. Try to track this down. I mean, it's expensive. Well, it's $20. But, yeah, even though this book is 12 years old, but good luck trying to find it. But I do recommend it if you don't have your collection. This is just really good. And the book gives sort of a sci-fi noir take to all the stuff in here. And even Adolf Hitler shows up for the first half in here, right? So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be the 300th episode of this series and the 231st double shot of the series. Okay? So until then, I will see you there. Bye.